unfortunately, architects would now propose A to the city to tell the clients we've got approval, but propose B to the main contractor in terms of what we're actually going to build. And A being a house.
Propose a house.
But B is a multi-let structure.
Multi-let structure.
So architects...
That's predominant, eh?
So architects are playing that role. That's coming from them, where they're in this position because they're, I think, for a new potential entrepreneur, you're the professional architect. You're the one who studied this thing for years and has the degree.
I trust you.
And now architects understanding the environment, and they say, hey, you know what, we can't put 12 units here. But maybe, it's 45,000 Rand to draw up this plan.
Yeah.
So architect's taking care of himself, but not necessarily the client. And also once he gives the drawings, he's gone.
And the drawings are approved, but they're not approved for what you are building.
Yeah, it's the wrong structure that's approved. So there's that part. I don't know how we better address it and how institutions like ourselves who come across these scenarios can better address it. I directly speak with the architects to get to the bottom of what's going on. And just to bring them
what do
back
they usually say?
And center them
what
back.
What are the things you
let me leave it off. Actually, you know what? I guess that's the point of this podcast. Yeah, man. They just essentially trying to navigate the environment to achieve. They're trying to give the client plan approval, and they're trying to get their monies and move on to the next deal.
So, meaning what I'm hearing is that the regulatory framework, when it comes to then zoning, now has created this loophole and this gap where this guy knows that his plan will not be approved, but he needs to get paid. Then he must present something totally different to the city. Similar, yeah. But not exactly. The use will not be the same.
It won't show 12 bachelor units. It will show just 3-bedroom house, which has changed the considerations at the development planning office. Where if you're proposing a 3-bedroom house, then they don't care about your parking so much. You can have 2-3 car garage, it's fine. They also then, the level after that is your bulk services. And
yeah, you don't get charged for that as well.
And what I was seeing recently, with particularly last year, a lot of our projects when they were going to the city, they were pushing back and saying, we want to see some solar integration here. So they were making comments still at design level, which is the right time to make these comments, not once the structure's up, is that we want your electricity to run off, solar, either your geysers or your stoves to somehow run off a solar system or not stress the current infrastructure in that neighborhood, which is the opportunity lost when architects aren't proposing the right structures so the city understand what's happening on the ground. The client doesn't know better for the most part. I won't say that they're oblivious. Some clients know exactly that this plan is to get approval, but this plan is the one we're actually going to build.
Yeah, but in my experience, architects do say to the client that, listen, what you want to do is not going to get approved. So it's going to be presented this way.
So the clients also do know that. Clients also do know that.
Yeah. Unless when they come to you, they're like, I didn't know.
My whole thing is just propose what can get approved. Because something can get approved. So if you currently only have Res 1 rights, which allows 2 stories and up to 6 units, then maybe cap it at that. And your next structure, if you're willing to go through rezoning and all of that, we can do that. But from the architect side, just start off, your client says, I want, because I think architects charge by square meter. Architect, draftsman, architectural technologist, whichever one they are. They like to charge by square meters.
Correct.
So the bigger your design, the more they bill.
And the more expensive it is.
But I think from the architect's integrity side is to just say, hey guys, look, you can only build 6 units here.
Just do 6 units. And then that helps keep the integrity of the property intact, because if you want to sell the property,
that's another part
then
that
it's easier to finance.
Landlords don't think about.
Yeah.
or the architect doesn't communicate that to them, so that when you need to sell this property, they're going to want the plans.
And if the plans aren't approved, then you don't have
You got to draw them again.
rezoning. Then what
Yeah.
happens? You can't sell this thing unless somebody's buying cash.
Unless it's a cash buyer. Cash buyers who are few and far between. There are cash buyers out there, but there's not many. A lot of people need home loans to purchase properties. You've made these improvements that have cost you X amounts of money, but if the plans aren't approved, you've got a problem.
Then do they then look at it from a perspective of, say, you financing it? Do you guys finance Res 1 as long as it's approved?
Yeah, as long as you're building within the parameters. So
yeah, within the guidelines of the property. Yeah.
Just to reference, Res 1 does allow you to build essentially 6 units. So, you got your terminology
Like 6 rooms
for
at the
town
back.
planning, but it's 2 structures, of which 2 structures each structure can have 3 front doors, 3 front entrances. So it's almost saying you've got these 2 buildings, 3 here, 3 here, or if it's 3 up and 3 down. There is a measurement of how it can't exceed the size of the main house.
Let's say there is a 2-bedroom house.
2-bedroom house. How big is the house?
No, normal 2-bedroom. It's
Or in the township?
In the township, 50 square meter.
Okay, 50 square.
50 square meter. And then you've got the kitchen, sitting area, bathroom. And then at the back, you've got space. How many units can they do there within the parameters of Res 1?
They vary.
Yeah.
Courier's land use scheme is different to City of Johannesburg's.
Correct.
For City of Johannesburg,
it's Res 3. No, I'm saying on the Res 1.
I'm talking Res 3.
1.
So your standard, from what I see in City of Courier, your freestanding homes, residential homes, are Res 2.
Is it Res 2?
There is 2.
Okay.
But for me, my opinion,
Res 1, Res 2,
that Res 2 is worse than City of Johannesburg's Res 1. City of Johannesburg's Res 1 allows for more. It allows up to 6 units behind your property, not 6 independent units. They have to be
attached together. Like if
they have to be touched together.
Or what?
There was a part where the total size of those additions cannot exceed the coverage of the main house. So that will push you to make it a double story now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can attach it to the house, that double story.
Well, not necessarily. No, the attachment part is not, and that's another thing for Cosmo City. They've got that whole thing.
Yeah.
So you do, unfortunately, is
it legal?
Each neighborhood, the Cosmos one.
Yeah.
Well, Cosmo, they say you can make additional improvements to your house, but you cannot have a detached structure. So what I've seen developers in Cosmo doing is they then extend the main house,
but do units at the back.
But the unit entrances are, opposite facing. So if the front doors of the main house are facing that way, it's essentially a back entrance, but now you've got your staircase and you've kind of navigated. You are